Okay, welcome to this Freedom Network presentation. Rod Moore here from the Freedom Network, and we're going to talk about the 3 different ways that you can earn an income, earn money, which is what we all want to do, earn more money. So I've basically, after years of research and experience, narrowed it down to there's basically 3 things you can do really to earn money, short of doing things like winning tax lotto or an inheritance, things like that which are out of our control. So let's talk about the things that are within our control. And the first one is, the first income stream is what 92% of the population do around the world. That's trade their time for money. And right now, I suspect that, if you're watching this video, you're looking for a way to escape the rat race. You're probably caught up in this trap of trading your time for money right now in a job. Now, the average income in America, I think in 2014, was $52,000 per annum, and that's probably pretty accurate reflection around the world if you averaged it right out. It's probably lower if you bring in all the third world countries, but in all the westernized worlds and modern societies, that would probably be about the average. Now that was 2014, so it's more realistically closer to $60,000 now. I know that's probably around about right here in Australia and in most cases around the world. So that's a job. You trade your time for money, 9 to 5. If you don't turn up, you don't get paid. If you stop turning up or if you start turning up late, you're going to get in trouble with the boss and eventually you won't have a job. So with a job, you've got to put your time in and you get paid a certain amount per time based on the value that you bring to that time. Now, you can increase your value. You can earn more than the average because obviously there are brain surgeons, there are lawyers, people like that who earn well above that average, CEOs and so on, but they don't really have freedom. Okay, so what we're all about here at the Freedom Network is both time and income freedom. So there are a lot of people who earn a lot more than this average in a job, but they don't really have the time freedom. And those people are probably working a lot more than their 9 to 5. Big problem with having a job is that most people who have a job, they only really have one income stream, and that is the income from their job. So they're highly reliant on the job. And what that means is they put in just enough effort to stop from getting sacked, and they get paid just enough to stop them leaving. It's a pretty sad trap when you become reliant on that weekly paycheck or monthly paycheck. You get caught in the rat race, right? And then it doesn't matter how much you earn, we tend to adjust our lifestyles up to that level of income. And so we can't leave because, even if you're earning $200,000, you've got a bigger house, bigger mortgage, fancier cars, right? You're caught in the rat race. And so that's what happens with a job. That's income stream number 1. That's what 92% of the people around the world do. And it is literally the rat race. And here at the Freedom Network, our mission is to help you break free from that rat race, right? So income stream number 2 is investments, where your money makes you money. You take some of the money that you earn through your 9 to 5 job, your income stream number 1, and you invest that into real estate, stocks, gold, Bitcoin, whatever the current thing at the moment is. It doesn't really matter. But you take some of your earned income through a job and invest it into assets to generate you an income. And in theory, that sounds fantastic, right? I mean, we'd all love to have an investment portfolio that we just lived off the income from that investment portfolio. Very, very few people actually ever achieve it. Here's why. You would need $1.2 million invested at 5% interest rate to give you a $60,000 per annum average income, right? So if you're are earning $120,000 right now in your job, you're going to need $2.4 million at the current interest rates to be able to get an income stream from that to replace your job. Now, I say 5% income because at the time of recording this, we're in historic low interest rates right around the world, and getting a 5% return wouldn't be that would be a reasonable outcome in the current climate, right? Current interest rate climate. $1.2 million invested to get $60,000 per annum equivalent income stream coming in. Now, the question I've got for you today, right? How close are you to 1.2 million? You can't count your house. If you own your own house, that doesn't earn you an income because you live in that house, right? So you can't count that. So we're talking about other real estate you might have that generates an income. So you can't count any assets that don't generate you an income. If you've spent your life savings on getting a baseball card collection, right, and it's worth $200,000, right, and you've got it sitting in a vault in your man cave and it's locked away in a safe for protection, right, that isn't what we're talking about here, because how much is that going to actually generate an income for you each week or month or year? Nothing, right? Now, you might get some capital gain when you go to sell it. You might not. You're speculating. So you can't count those sort of assets. So I'm talking about income-producing assets. You need $1.2 million worth. Where are you at right now? Then the other question I've got for you is, how long will it take you to save to get to that point? If you're on an average income of $60,000, how much of that can you save a year? 10%? So that's $6,000 before tax, right? So there's a lot of years between now and $1.2 million. And my point is, most people will never generate from their day job income. They'll never transfer enough of that into investments in order to reach a $1.2 million milestone. It's just not possible for most people. I know that I could never do it, right? However, there is a better way, another way that is more accessible for most people, right? And what it is, it's about building income assets or building business systems that are an asset that you own that generate income. Now, the great news about income stream number 3, you don't have to quit your day job to do this. So when I was working a day job, I was working 40 hours a week in my job. I was getting paid $60,000 retainer plus commission. Hardly ever saw any commission. I made some sales here and there. I made sales, but I just never ended up getting paid for them, right? Long story. But so basically my income was $60,000. Working 40 hours a week, I took my spare time and I invested another 20 to 40 hours a week around my job, right? So I get up early in the morning, I'd work at home at night, I'd work on the weekends, and I built a business online in my spare time. And that business generated an income. And over time, that income was greater than the income from my job. So I said goodbye to the job, right? And freed up 40 hours a week to put into building more businesses like the one that had just set me free. And that's what we're all about here at the Freedom Network, is educating you and mentoring you and training you. How do you build income assets like that? How do you build business systems online? And what I really focus in on is automated business systems that earn you residual income. So there's a lot to doing that, and you've got to get your mindset right and your thinking right. If you expect to do work today and get paid tomorrow, then that's the sort of mentality you have from a job. That won't apply in building this type of business. In this type of business, what we do is we work, and then we get paid a little tiny bit, and we keep working. We get paid a little tiny bit more, and over time, the graph goes like that, and then it kicks up exponentially. But you have to go through that period where nothing seems to be happening first, and building, right? Building businesses, building marketing systems, building products that you can leverage and monetize. And that requires a certain type of thinking and a certain mindset, and you need to really be focused on your goals to be able to achieve that. And it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. And I mean, this is the difference between a marathon and a sprint. Everybody out there is looking for a sprint. Find me the way that I can make money online overnight. And so every week, the new idea of the week comes along. This week it's Amazon, or next week it'll be Bitcoin or whatever, right? The new idea of the week, and some of those are viable business models, but it's the mentality that keeps people stuck. The mentality is, I'm looking for something to make me money fast, right? I can't tell you how many times I've heard that from people. And people who get caught up in that sort of mindset, forever looking for the holy grail of make money fast online, never seem to ever get freedom through building something solid, right? So we're not about that. We're not going to show you how to make money overnight at the Freedom Network. We're about, let's map out a plan for the next 2 to 3 years. You might do it sooner, you might not. But a plan to build a business system and assets that can be automated and leveraged for income so that it's residual, that your money keeps coming in month after month, long after you created that business system and those products, right? So you build it once, you get paid forever. Very different from a job where you put 10 hours in this week and you get paid for 10 hours, but then that's it. You never get paid for those same 10 hours ever again in the job, right? So they're the 3 income streams. Trade your time for money, or you invest your money to make your money, or you take some of your time and you build business systems and business assets that you can leverage for residual income long into the future, right? Now, one of my businesses that I did this with, I turned my hobby, which is painting, oil painting and acrylic painting, I turned that into an online business where I teach other people around the world how to paint, and how to begin painting. And I've created a series of online video courses and projects. I only had to create them once, and I'm still getting paid for courses that I created 5 years ago, right? I made a lot of mistakes, but I'm still getting paid for them today, right? And anyone can do this. Now, you don't have to know how to paint. There's so many other areas of life that you could create similar sort of products and training for. To date, I've had 15,000 people go through my online Learn to Paint courses, right? It's set me free. And then that freedom, then of sacking my boss and giving up my day job, freed up 40 hours a week to put into building other businesses and new businesses and expanding as I go. But the key distinction here is every hour of work that I do builds an asset that I own, that I can leverage into the future, so that it has an ongoing income stream attached to it, right? I don't get paid once for everything that I do. I get paid continuously, residually, long into the future, 10, 20, 30 years time, right? I believe that if you do this right, you can still be getting paid for the work you do today in 30 years time if you do it right. There's a lot to doing it right, and we'll talk about that in future videos. So they're the 3 income streams. Make sure that you clearly understand which one you currently earn your income from and which one is going to set you free from the rat race and help you break free and live the sort of lifestyle that I do, where I basically do what I want these days, right? Time and money freedom can be yours as well. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.